Carrollton, we're focused on kind of delivering on a vision and a message or a mission, if you will, to have a community that families and businesses want to call home. And I think that as we reflect on this ordinance, and we reflect on how we got here, we got here because a citizen, non-elected, none of us, committee was appointed to review the charter. Okay, and as part of the charter review, it was brought to us to make changes to the charter. And obviously, this is not something we take lightly. We look at the charter very carefully. We look at it as a document that should stand the test of time. However, so we actually truncated some provisions in there to basically say we do not discriminate, and I think that's an important thing. And I firmly believe, whether voting for or against up here, that the people up on this dais, and largely the people out there, do not discriminate. I firmly believe that we live in a community that we don't, as a whole, discriminate. But there are people, unfortunately, that do. Anti-discrimination doesn't belong in the charter, or it doesn't belong in an ordinance. Unfortunately, as has been said, I think that we're at a stage where we have too many instances where it's probably necessary and good practice. Companies have it. There are federal laws around it. Case law is continuing to evolve. And I think as you think about that, it really comes back to, you can rationalize all you want, and I go back to MLK. We just celebrated Martin Luther King, and what he stood for was far more than just the color of your skin. He really stood for every single thing we're talking about today, okay? And the things, honestly, that we will be talking about in 10 years from now. The fact that Carrollton does not have a vehicle to ensure that we are stating the obvious and that we have ordinances around the obvious is it's just disappointing. It's just, I wasn't expecting to talk about this. It came out of the charter. Well, here we are, we're talking about it. And I think it's so important that we remember that, in the 60s with Martin Luther King and what he was pushing for at the time, you could rationalize that away all you wanted as well. But in the end of the day, a lot of people were hurt through the process, and ultimately laws were developed to protect classes. And yes, we have more classes, but guess what? We're going to have more classes. We're going to have genetic classes, right? Who knows what the future holds? I mean, we could have other forms of discrimination, and I think a vehicle, an ordinance that ensures that as a city, we're appreciating all of our people, and just stating the obvious is the right thing. It's just the right thing to do. And so as we sit here and we hear feedback from the community, and we've heard it for the last 2 weeks and more vicious, so to speak, in the last 2 days. Ban the Bible? Come on, really? Give me a break.
Thank you.
I'm a Christian. I go to a Catholic church.
Woo!
I was married in a Catholic church. I got a text tonight from my daughter, right, who's going to school in San Marcos, and it's a touching text, because she basically texted me and she said she was proud of the fact that what we were doing here, and this is just one of those things that I think it's important that she just reflect on. So let's remember that the anti-discrimination language is about, in the end of the day, inclusion. And I brought my kids up to welcome everybody. Okay? And I remember my Boy Scout laws. I remember what my oath and my law is all about, and I try to guide myself each day, every day around that. And a reminder in an ordinance does, just like we have a reminder in a pledge every day that we allegiance, is not a bad thing. We're not taking anything away from anybody by having an ordinance that adds protections for classes that, quite frankly, are probably protected in case law as you go forward anyway. So I don't believe unintended consequences are going to be developed. It's the right thing to do. I'm voting in favor of this, and I know this will bring joy to a number of people who things that as a white male I take for granted sometimes I'm actually feeling the other side of it. But as a white male, I will tell you that there are things that I take for granted that other people have to give second thought on and pause on. And I work with a diverse group. We have a diverse city. Let's embrace it. Let's acknowledge the fact that anti-discrimination is all about inclusion and recognizing that we have far more alike than different. This is not a political issue. Let's not make it. Thank you.
Woo.